Any thoughts on the Arizona Coyotes situation, whether you know anything about it or just any thoughts on what this team might be going through?
Yeah, I don't know anything other than what I read from you guys or see from you guys, so I can't really answer that question. I know just from experience, my first year in the minors, we were in Glens Falls, New York, and the next year I pretty much knew we were going to Stockton. They were going to move the franchise there. So you have to wrap your head around it, of course, but I don't know what that team is feeling right now, so I can't really answer that question for you.
Do you know anyone in the organization or just any ties to anyone there? Anyone there you talk to, converse with?
Nobody that I've spoken with. Of course, we know Yuso from his time here, but no, I don't have any ties.
Any memories, I guess, of Mullet Arena now that it doesn't look like you'll be back as an NHL team?
Not really. I mean, they've only been playing there for a couple years, so it's a smaller building. I mean, it gave you kind of a junior feel to an NHL game. So the first time in there was probably a different experience for the players, for sure.
Right. Were you happy with your team's response to the Ducks' 3 goals in less than 5 minutes?
Yeah, and listen, some of those goals they went off Mackenzie, the third one. They scored the second goal. They scored was a nice goal from behind the net. They made a skilled play on that one, but I liked our game for the most part, and we've struggled in back-to-back situations this year, and that's the first time we've had success. So, I was pleased with the way the guys prepared themselves and played the game with energy for full 60 minutes, even in a back-to-back. So I was happy with what they were able to do there.
When you're evaluating a guy, obviously thinking of Connor here, but when you're evaluating a guy on the move from wing to center, what exactly are you looking for?
For me, for a young guy playing in the middle of the ice, is if he can handle the heavy lifting down low in our own zone, and that's the biggest thing. So we ask a lot out of our centermen, and typically they have to have hockey sense so they can read where that next play is going. And Connor's got sense. We know that with the way he plays the game with and without the puck. And for me, it's can he handle some of the bigger players down low, because they're an extension of their defensemen a lot of times, where they have to make sure they're committed to helping and protecting the front of our net. And there's a lot of big, heavy players that mature at this level, and it takes some time for a younger guy to figure out how best to use his body, how to play down low, and I think Connor, in the short time that he's played there, has done a really good job so far.
Coach Yeager, sharing Govich, one more point, he'll be the single-season scoring leader for a Belarusian-born player. I mean, when you look at a potential accomplishment like that, what does that potentially mean to him, do you think, in his eyes, and what does it mean for your group to be able to perhaps celebrate something like that?
Oh, I'm sure it would be huge for him. I mean, that's coming from your country, being the leader in that department, I think would go a long way for him. His family, his parents, everybody. So for our guys, I think it's no different than like Naz's 900 games. They wanted to have a good night for him. So I know guys they'd like to see him get that record. So it's something that hopefully he can get done tonight.
And Blake Coleman just won his second straight Peter Marr Good Guy Award.
Yeah.
If you could, some words on him as a person and a player.
The good guy. I think it kind of sums it up, both on and off the ice, but he's got the ability on the ice to switch it to the competitor side. He's a really good family man. I think from what Pete said, he had his daughters with him today. And he's just a genuine person. That cares about the people around him, but when he's on the ice, he's a great competitor, and that's what we love about him. So he puts other people before himself all the time, but he makes sure that when he comes to the rink to practice and play games, he always shows up, and that's what we love about him.
Do you think you can, or do you expect to have him available before the end of the season?
I'm hoping so. Fingers crossed. That's another one. We'd like to see him get to 30 if possible. Those little things matter to players, and they matter to teammates as well.
I know Mackenzie's meant more than just the points, but to have a 50-point season for the first time in his career, what has he meant to your back end and really just your group in general?
For Parks, for me, it's more than just the points for him. I feel like he's done everything the right way over the course of the year, so more so the competitive side. And I think with that, there's been a large maturing or maturation, whatever you want to call it, to his game on the ice, where he's controlling his emotions a little better than he has in the past. And I think that's what's allowed him to take his game to another level where he's committed to doing whatever he has to do to help this team win. So he's done a lot for us this year, and he's been an excellent player.